At 4:14 a.m., June 24, 2025, a Russian Cherny-class landing craft, loaded with 30 troops, sliced through the waters of the Black Sea, heading toward Kherson's western shore. What the Russians didn't know was that a silent predator had been watching them for nearly 30 minutes from 18,000 feet above. A Turkish-made Bayraktar TB2 drone, launched at 2 a.m. from near Mykolaiv, had locked onto its prey. The TB2 wasn't some off-the-shelf drone, it was Turkey's answer to the predator. With a 27-hour endurance and a tiny radar cross-section no bigger than a bird's, it cruised through radar blind spots at 70 knots, invisible and patient. Its path was meticulous. It skirted 50 kilometers away from every known Russian S-300 site, using the darkness of the Black Sea and enemy fatigue to its advantage. By 3:30 a.m., the TB2 reached its patrol station, a 40 by 20 kilometer slice of airspace overlooking Kherson's maritime approaches. Its Westcam MX-15D sensor ball, a Canadian-made optical marvel, could read license plates from 20 kilometers away. Switching between thermal and visual modes, the drone's operator watched and waited. Drone warfare is 99% boredom, 1% chaos. But that was about to change. At 3:47 a.m., a glowing thermal trace appeared. A Cherny-class landing craft, steaming west at 30 knots. It wasn't alone. Two more vessels followed, 5 kilometers behind. This wasn't a routine patrol, it was a convoy. The operator started recording. The lead craft carried over 24 human heat signatures, clearly infantry. Something big was coming. At 4:10 a.m., the convoy closed in on a beach 8 kilometers west of Kherson, an area where Ukrainian intel had flagged suspicious activity days earlier. The drone operator reached for a secure line. Minutes later, a terse message arrived from the 383rd UAV Brigade. Cleared to engage. This wasn't just an attack, it was a risk. Firing here would reveal Ukraine's southern drone presence, but the value was worth it. The Cherno was now just 15 kilometers from shore. The TB2 broke its patrol route and began maneuvering into position for an optimal strike. The operator chose the lead vessel, disrupt the tip, and the tail collapses. The drone banked hard, circling behind the convoy. He zoomed in infantry gear, tactical vests, rifles. No supply mission, this was an assault force. The operator prepped his strike, the MAML Turkey's smart micro-munition. Just 22 kilograms, with a 10 kilograms warhead, guided by laser. From this height, the missile needed 43 seconds of flight, and the TB2 had to keep its laser fixed on the target the whole time, no room for error. At 8 kilometers perfect range, the operator squeezed the trigger. Nothing, laser malfunction, recalibrate. Heart pounding, he cycled the system off and on like a gamer rebooting a crashed rig. 10 agonizing seconds passed, then green light, laser back online. But something felt off. Too many troops. Odd crates lashed to the sides, unusual gear. This wasn't a standard landing party. Then the trailing boats changed course, one north, one south. They were forming a perimeter. This was bigger than anyone thought. At 4:47 a.m., the operator gave the go. The mammal dropped, fins deployed, and screamed earthward at 250 meters per second. Russian troops on deck noticed too late. Some dove for cover, others tossed crates overboard. Why? Because those weren't standard crates. Impact, the missile struck amidships, ripping through the hull. But what followed wasn't a normal secondary explosion. It was thermite white-hot demolition charges. Not fuel tanks, not ammo, sabotage charges. The TB2's camera captured waterproof cases floating free, marked in Cyrillic. The cargo wasn't troops, it was a covert Russian demolition team. The trailing vessels turned and fled toward Crimea. No rescue, no hesitation. Ukraine had just uncovered and destroyed a Russian sabotage operation. Intercepted comms confirmed it. Special forces were being pulled back. Within a week, Russian operations in the western Black Sea simply stopped. 30 elite Russian operatives, trained for months, ended up in pieces at the bottom of the Black Sea, exposed by one unmanned drone, a board operator, and a camera that never blinked. Whatever they were planning for KURS and it died before it reached the shore. Drone warfare had changed the game forever.